Orlando Brown Jr. breaks down his offseason training, and I'm going to talk about why this is huge for the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to the Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. And yes, obviously one of the main struggles, or like literally the only struggle with the Cincinnati Bengals offense for the past few seasons has been our offensive line. And I think we all know we have, two main guys, Ted Karras involved as well. But Orlando Brown Jr. should be the catalyst and anchor of that offensive line. And I'm going to be honest, last year I know he was hurt, but he had a down year to me. He needs, in my opinion, needs to pick it up. Because when he picks it up, the rest of the offensive line picks it up, especially now that we have technically like 3 new guys on the line, including Amarius Mims. Yes, I know he played last season, but this is only his second year in the NFL alone. But now we're adding Lucas Patrick, who's wasn't a Bengal before, and Dylan Fairchild, who this is going to be his first year in the NFL. I think the entire offensive line obviously has to step it up, but I think that first comes with Orlando Brown. And he appeared on NFL Network yesterday talking about what his offseason training this season has looked differently compared to what it has before. And I think it shows a lot compared to what mainly our new offense coordinator, Scott Peters, has brought to the team. So let's jump right into it, because obviously that is the main thing we need to fix is our offensive line for our offense. Our most important player is Joe Burrow. And the fact that we haven't been able to build him an offensive line that protects him when he is by far our most important player is absolutely absurd to me. So to actually see it going in the right direction is massive for me. So let's jump right into it. Orlando Brown dives into offseason training methods as Cincinnati prepares for training camp. Bengals franchise left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. appeared on the NFL Network Insider Show this week and dove into how he's added to his training routine this offseason. From the pool to the boxing gym, Brown uses a diverse training diet to stay ready. And this is Orlando Brown Jr. talking. In the summers, I'll still be in a pool, Brown said. I do a lot of boxing between February, March, and April, pretty much before we get into the OTA phase. But yeah, I'll be swimming, man. I'll be refining my pass set, all of those different things, and riding my bike. I'm a big bike rider during this time of year. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I skipped forward. Brown is an entrenched Cincinnatian now and makes a point to stay around in the offseason. Honestly, I don't really leave here, Brown noted. For me, it's more about the mental aspect of things, being able to stay in it, continue to stay in that state of mind. I think a lot of times before getting away, I might get in my head away from it too much. I think I found something good for me in my career being here full time. So I think that's the main thing that I like to see is that he's staying in Cincinnati. He's diving to all things Cincinnati. And I think it's very prominent to know when you have a better relationship with the city that you're playing for, you want to, I know you want to win, and everyone's like, I want to win. But when you actually care about the city you live in, it's like a pride thing. Like, I have to win for the city because it's not just the city I'm playing for, but it's my city. And I think that's what Orlando Brown Jr. is getting into. He's one of the most, proactive members of the team in the media, but also one that sticks around Cincinnati the most. I think he lives there. And now seeing that, him being open about that, is huge for me. Because like I said, when you get connected to your city that you're playing for that much, it's like another added level of pride. Like, I have to win for my city, not just the city I play for, but for my city. And also, for those of you that do live in Cincinnati, I thought this was a cool note. But local fans can meet Orlando Brown Jr. this Thursday at the Freedom Center in downtown Cincinnati for the Juneteenth Jubilee. So if you live in Cincinnati, I do not, unfortunately, anymore. I grew up in Cincinnati, don't live there anymore, in Austin, Texas. But if you would like to meet Orlando Brown Jr., I thought this was a cool note that he'll be at the Freedom Center in downtown Cincinnati this Thursday. So if you're not doing anything, go say hello to Orlando Brown Jr. for me, take a picture, and maybe put in the comments if you get the chance to. So I thought that was a cool note. But I think a lot of this change is all revolving around new offensive line coach Scott Peters. And you can see in that picture right there, he's very hands-on. Even throughout all the OTAs, minicamp, I was very active on Twitter seeing what they were doing, like the reporters and beat writers, what they were posting about. And I was extremely interested in what they had to say about the offensive line coach, Scott Peters, and just the offensive line in general. because he's, and everything I've seen is that he's very hands-on, very hands-on. He comes from a wrestling, jiu-jitsu, martial arts background, and he implements that into his offensive line workouts and routines and how to just play the position of offensive line. And I think that's massively improved even the guys that we have now. Like, I think we're going to see a massive step forward with our offensive line in next season, and that's what we need to see. We need to see a massive step forward next season. And I think because of Scott Peters, I think we're going to see that step forward. Even seeing Dylan Fairchild talking about how much he's improved with his hands just because of how involved Scott Peters is with the drill. Like, he gets involved with the drills. He gets hands-on with the players. And even Dylan Fairchild said, I've noticed a difference. Lucas Patrick as well, and Marcus Mims, all of them, Ted Karras, Orlando Brown Jr., they've all spoke out about how much it's helped them improve in such a little time with their new coach, Scott Peters, being so hands-on, being in their face, putting literally his hands on them, showing them what to do with their hands, because that's the background he comes for. And I think that massively improves the mindset of the offensive line, because he brings a whole new mindset to the offensive line. And I think it also improves, obviously, the ability of the offensive line. So now what I want to do, I'm going to go through the starting offensive line of what we see it now, what they did last season, and what they need to do. Like, all of them need to improve. So this is kind of just like a look back to what they did last season. Like, they need to improve. So first, obviously, starting from left to right, we have left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. Like I said, kind of the anchor of the offensive line. Obviously, Ted Karras is basically the anchor because he's the center. But like Orlando Brown Jr., offensive line kind of revolves around him. He's the big name, and he needs to step up. Last season, I know he was hurt, but overall PFF grade-wise, 58.2 grade overall, 92nd among all left tackles. Pass block 69.5, 52nd among all tackles. Run block 49.7, 121st. 8 penalties, 3 sacks. He has to improve. He has to improve. With what we're paying him and the impact he has on the team, he has to improve. He has to stay healthy. He has to stay on the team. Stay on the team. He has to stay on the field. And I know that's easier said than done, but I have the faith in Orlando Brown Jr. I love Orlando Brown Jr., but he has to improve. And I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that. Next, left guard Dylan Fairchild, and this is coming from like OTA's minicamp. This is what they were sending out, the starting line. Rookie from Georgia. Don't have PFF grade wise because obviously he wasn't in the league last season. But last year in college, he only allowed 1 sack. I think it was a steal, honestly, where we got him in the 3rd round. I think he's better than a 3rd rounder. He's very similar to Tate Ratledge, who got drafted 2nd round, who you guys know I was very interested in. But Dylan Fairchild, I just love the comments he's made so far about how he's improved in a short amount of time. With how Scott Peters is hands-on, and I love to see that. I love him being outspoken about it. Obviously, we have nothing to base off last season from him being a Bengal. He was great in college, but that's completely different from the NFL. I'm just looking to see him have a very solid year 1 in the NFL, because I think he'll be the starter. I think he'll be starting out there. I'm ready. I want him to see. Let's do 1 sack again. Hopefully 0 sacks. If you can do that, then he has a very, 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 very good rookie season, and that's what I want to see from Dylan Fairchild. Next, one of the captains, center Ted Karras, who actually just got ranked top 10 centers in the league, so that's huge for Ted Karras. Last season, 64.1 overall grade, 25th. Pass block, 78 grade, 7th among all centers. Run blocks, 59.9, 48th among all centers. 3 penalties, 2 sacks. Obviously, the main thing he needs to improve just his run block. He's been a great pass blocker for his entire career. I would like to see his run block just improve. He's a great leader. He's also very involved in the city, obviously with the Cincy hats, and I have one of my own. I love Ted Karras. I just want to see everybody improve, obviously. I think he needs to focus on his run block rate, and obviously he's a true leader and captain on the team, and I love to see that, and I pray and hope that he continues into that role next season and beyond. But I would like to see him work on the run block grade, because I want our running game to be more scary than it is now. We have a decent run game, but I want it to be a great run game, and I think that starts with Ted Karras. Then going right next to him, Lucas Patrick, right guard. Sorry, obviously he's going to be the first season with the Cincinnati Bengals, but last season Overall grade of 64.6, 54th among all guards. Pass block 60.3, 79th among all guards. And run block 60.3, 48th among all guards. 6 penalties, 0 sacks. And honestly, if Lucas Patrick can repeat that, 0 sacks, that's a win for me. Joe Burrow is consistently one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. If Lucas Patrick can continue that 0 sacks into this next season, it's a win for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a win for Lucas Patrick, and it's a win for Joe Burrow. If Lucas Patrick can do that, where he makes sure that Joe Burrow, because of him, is never on the ground, that's a win for me. That's an amazing signing, and that's an amazing deal for Joe Burrow because he needs to stay healthy like he did last season, the entire season, for the Bengals to make a push for the playoffs because we haven't been there in 3 years, and to make a push for the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, which we should be doing every single year. So if Lucas Patrick does that again with 0 sacks, massive win for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I believe he can do it. And finally, finishing off all the way on the right side, right tackle Amarius Mims Jr., who had a very, very solid rookie season, but I still would love to see a lot of improvement. Overall grade of 57.8, 96th among all tackle. Pass block 60.8, 80th among all tackles. Run block 52.6, 110th. 4 penalties, 4 sacks. I would like to see that sack go down. I don't want 4 sacks coming from Amarius Mims next season. I would like to see just all the grades improve. He had a very solid rookie season, like I said, but there's always room for improvement. I mean, he was also battling with injury as well, but he stepped up huge for us in key moments. So I would like to see that just growth of, like, this is his second year. Let's see that second gear of him protecting Joe Burrow and staying healthy and moving faster, moving his hands faster, being more handsy with the edge rushers, being quicker with his feet, all that good stuff. And I think Scott Peters is going to help tremendously with that for Amarius Mims Jr. But once again, as right now, this is what our line is looking like. Left tackle, Orlando Brown Jr., left guard, Dylan Fairchild, center, Ted Karras, right guard, Lucas Patrick, and right tackle, Amarius Mims. And I like it so far. I think it's a massive improvement from last season. And I don't think that's not as hard as it sounds to do, but it's an improvement, and that's what we need. But thank you guys so much for watching this Bengals Digest channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel if you love the Bengals as much as me and my co-host Isaac. We're going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincinnati Bengals only right here every single day. So don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you get notified anytime we post a video. Like this video. Comment down below what you're most excited about with the offensive line or who you're most excited about to see. I think I'm most excited to see Amarius Mims step forward into his year 2. But thank you so much for watching. For the Bengals Digest channel, I'm Carson Lokey. Have an amazing day, and God bless.